Hello everyone, so today we are going to the newly opened Eorzea Café here in Kyoto. It's actually not that newly opened. I have to wait 2 weeks in order to get a reservation, at least during the time spot that I wanted. But this will be my first time in a sort of Final Fantasy themed cafe, which is something to look forward to, I guess. Here we see Kyoto in the background. And incidentally, the cafe is themed after Kugane from the game, so it is sort of very fitting for a city like Kyoto, having this sort of classic Japanese vibe to it. So it's got to be something, and it's different from the cafe in Nagoya, for example, which is modeled after the Crystarium, which also sounds very interesting. And then we have the more established cafes in Osaka and Tokyo, which I would also like to visit someday, maybe. Depending on how this goes, we'll see. That didn't work, let's try it again.
So at the cafe there is a 1,000 yen entry fee, but included in that is a coaster featuring a beloved Final Fantasy XIV job of your choosing, and a service drink, meaning you get your first drink for free, so it's not too bad. And since my friend doesn't play Final Fantasy XIV, I actually got to pick both the job coasters, so I picked Sage and Samurai, my two main jobs. I guess Dark Knight will just have to wait. The cafe is decorated with Final Fantasy XIV posters and apparel, but aside from that there isn't really much going on. I think that one of the reasons it might feel a bit underwhelming is that it doesn't feel all that different from other places in Kyoto. For example, the staff is dressed in a version of traditional Japanese clothing, but that's not all that uncommon to see in Kyoto anyway. This is probably because this is just a temporary installation, but it feels like they could have done a lot more somehow. There was also this kind of weird setup where they played trailers from the game on 2 screens, but it kept lagging a lot, so it generated some pretty annoying sounds from time to time. One thing I did like way more than I should have though, is that all the prices are listed in gil, and the staff even used the word gil to talk about prices. Simple pleasures for a simple man, I guess. When ordering, we just connected our phones to the menu and picked from there, which was all very intuitive, but a part of me wishes they would have something more material, like a tablet or just a normal menu, just to have some more Final Fantasy XIV stuff in there, you know. I got me some tonberry omuraisu, which was basically just green pesto rice with some egg and ketchup on top. I also had 2 drinks, one inspired by Ishgard and the other by Doma, as well as a namasu dessert. The drinks were actually quite good, but the rest of the meal was quite mediocre, which was a bit of a shame. But we did get new coasters each time we ordered something, so that was nice. I can start my own little collection now. On the way out there is a little shop, but it doesn't really have all that much stuff. I did nevertheless buy a little metal sage pin for 600 gil, and just hearing the attendant say gil like it was the most normal thing in the world made it all worth it.
So what did I think of the experience? Well, if you're already living in Japan and you live nearby, there's a cafe near you, then I see no reason why you shouldn't go and check it out. But if you are maybe planning to make visiting a cafe like this a big part of your Final Fantasy pilgrimage, let's say, then I would suggest that you sort of temper your expectations a bit. At least if you're going to the cafe in Kyoto, it's the only one I've been to. So, that being said, I would recommend maybe taking a friend with you who is also familiar with Final Fantasy XIV, because let's be honest, a cafe is never as nice as the company you go there with. But also maybe check out Osaka or Tokyo, because those aren't temporary, and I imagine that they might be a bit more impressive. So, what do you think? Should I go check out the cafe in Osaka or Tokyo, or should I just never make a video like this again? Tell me down in the comments below. But until next time, caca!